Right. Yes. Okay. Let's get to it, shall we? Almost clicked on the other one. Yeah. Right. Let's finish this. Tomorrow we're going to move on to the Ark and Quest interlude, whatever the heck it's called. Because it's been very difficult, but I have avoided leaks. I will suffer no leaks. Box looks like it's gone.
Hey, we're here! Traveler, Paimon, great timing. We got a lot of letters in the mailbox, and I just finished sorting them into 4 groups.
Yay!
Nice work! Well, the real work hasn't even started yet. Which batch of letters should we read through first?
Hello, let me just test something. Whoa! Woo! I'm echoing in the background. Fantastic. There we go. Ah. Look at the... I'm trying to read the board, but you're kind of in the way. I'm not reading this out loud. You can pause this later on YouTube if you want to read it. And the event's over. Yes, we are going through the lot. Okay. Obviously, the point of this is to actually do it here on the discussion board. Huh? How about it could be just it could be the one in Traveler's hair. Hmm. Yeah, we're talking about the riddle, not who you can ask for help. Ah. You guys are such a sweetie. Ugh. Oh, didn't mean to click. I meant to click the one. There you go. I've read them all. I don't know what I was in aid of, but I read them.
Let me quickly summarize what we found out about a flower that is not of this world.
One in my hair?
Tainari believes that on closer examination it might be logically paradoxal. Well, as for my answer, I think a clock in the shape of a flower would constitute one that is not of this world.
Here's what we've gathered regarding a guide who will never get lost. Mona said that she'd like to join us in uncovering the secret behind the prophecy, while Bennett suggests Fischl, Mona, or the Traveler as potential candidates. Mika didn't submit much, but he did draw a vegetation. Amber also wrote in. She said that she's...
As for one who would never lie, Rosaria removed herself from consideration, but both Razor and Sino are willing to support us in our search. Timaeus seems to have forgotten to write to us.
And finally, this is what we've gathered on a legend that never ends. Kali said that her mom has a number of friends who like to write storybooks. Misa believes that legends live forever in people's hearts. I think that for a legend to be never-ending, it has to be filled with hopes and dreams, and actively passed from one person to the next.
So, what are the answers to the 4 riddles then?
You're really smart, Paimon. I bet you can figure it all out in no time.
Or, let's all share our thoughts on what we think the answers might be.
Are they gonna make me answer a question here?
Wait! Wait for me!
Oh, Timaeus! What brings you here?
I'm sorry, I really am. The time just got away from me and I didn't get around to writing that letter. However, I'm happy to announce...
Huh? This is kind of sudden. Not that we don't trust you, Timaeus, but, could you elaborate a little after you catch your breath?
Of course, of course. Do you still remember the time Well, basically, she helped me out a lot.
Wait! So Ying-ar is the girl from Liyue that Sucrose mentioned earlier? We always assumed you were hard at work every time we saw you at the crafting bench. So you've just been writing letters to Ying-ar the whole time?
Yep.
No, I mean, not all the time. I've done some work too. And anyway, our correspondence covers a lot of serious topics, like perfumes, potions, alchemy. Anyway, a few months ago, I made a vow to the heavens that I will be true to myself and never utter an insincere word until the day that I've managed to win Miss Ying-ar's heart.
So, at Starsnatch Cliff, you were picking Cecilia's as a gift for Ying-ar?
Well, that's right. The Cecilia flower is said to represent a once wayward heart, transformed by the power of love. I couldn't think of a better flower to give than that. I know full well that Miss Ying-ar is far more knowledgeable than I in both the ways of the world and the ways of our craft, but I thought I should make the effort for once and put myself out there.
Huh.
Which brings me to the subject of the last few days and the Windblume Festival. I thought it was time for me to invite Miss Ying-ar to Mondstadt. But yesterday, Albedo told me that Sucrose has been working hard to help another girl achieve her dream.
Huh?
And when I went to take a look at our roster, I saw that she'd done my remaining work for me. I feel incredibly guilty. I've been spending all of my time in my own fantasy world while everyone else has been bending over backwards to help other people. How could I ever hope to be worthy of Miss Ying-ar's love if I'm so selfish?
Oh, Timaeus.
And that's why I've decided to...
But then what about Ying-ar?
Yeah. Haven't you been planning this for over a month now? You said you were gonna invite her to Mondstadt.
Well, yes. I did mention in my letters that I'd like her to visit, which is why I just sent her another gift with my hand-picked Windblooms, along with a handwritten letter. I explained that a matter of great importance has presented itself, to which I made sure to package the gift and letter with the greatest care. All I can do now is hope that she'll understand. Point being, please know that I sincerely want to support you in this endeavor. Plus, I think I'm an honest person. As far as I recall, I don't think I've told a single lie in my life.
Okay, he's unexpectedly charming. Is he trying to make up for all the times he blocked us from the alchemy bench?
Well, you certainly convinced Paimon with that speech. Don't worry, Timaeus. We won't let your determination go to waste.
Thank you,
Thank you, everyone. I promise to do everything I can to help.
Okay, so it looks like we found our one who would never lie.
Great! Let's keep it up. On to the other three. Okay, Paimon will do the honors. Ahem. We have with us here the flower, the guide, the legend, and Timaeus.
Why did you only say Timaeus' name?
All right. We also have Klee.
That's me!
Klee here. This all somehow feels like we're getting ready for a field trip.
Bring on the domain.
There's nothing wrong with a more relaxed atmosphere, is there? Of course. We will soon see if my hypothesis has any merit.
Actually, I'm still feeling a little nervous.
Me too.
But weren't you all fired up just a moment ago?
Yeah, you're right. Okay, let's do this.
Actually, I'm a little worried.
I know what you're feeling. Saying anything becomes so much harder.
Well, does anyone know the exact location?
According to the prophecy.
Oh, we know something about that.
What? Wow, that's amazing. You really know how to do everything under the sun.
Then we'll let you lead the way.
This is it. We're off to find the sacred location of the Lantern of Utmost Joy.
Oh, my cat. Kitty cat, come to sit and relax. All the way down here. Oh, cat, can you sit? Can you sit? Is it warm and comfy? Yes, I've got my big jumper on. Zigzag around this way. There we go. Who's a good kitty?
According to the map,
kitty.
it should be somewhere around here.
Let me take a look. Oh, it should be right up ahead.
Who's a good kitty cat? Who's a good kitty?
Aww. I don't see any. Now that I think about it, the prophecy didn't say anything about what the.
Traveler, are you trying to figure out some...
Paimon's reading too.
Dragon spine.
But there's nothing about. Place the squirrel on the back of the pointy-eared cat, and a pious puppy will open the doors.
Look! The wind is blowing!
What a strong wind current.
What is that?
Let's ride it up and see where it leads us.
Huh? We'll have to fly up there? Can someone carry me with them?
Pretty sure wind gliders
Here.
have a maximum weight. How did that appear so suddenly?
This is the first time I've ever flown like this!
What sort of monster are you? If it's the first time you've flown. Kinda hoping this area becomes permanent, but it's events, so it won't. Wonder what will happen if I leave a teleport waypoint here.
How did this little island get up here in the sky? Did somebody make it?
Yeah, Ningo got
Just to be
commission.
safe, I've been jotting down our entire route here. This way, no one will get lost.
Oh, good thinking, Cup. Who would have we'd find this kind of table here. Weird. It's almost as if someone was holding a tea party.
I never would have guessed that such a place could exist. Right above Mondstadt, too.
Wow, look at that pretty lantern on the table. There's even a chair for each side of the lantern, too.
There seems to be something on the back of this chair. Let me have a closer look.
Description: Alice was here.
Take your seat, present your answers, and you shall reach enlightenment. Well, as far as instructions go, I guess that's simple enough.
So we just need to do as...
Wait a second.
Huh?
We'd better make sure this place is safe before taking our seats. Everyone, please stay clear for a moment.
Well, all our questions and doubts aside, the scenery here is pretty amazing. It'd be impossible to feel stressed here.
How is everything, Albedo?
Everything seems... But I also couldn't find any overt destructive devices.
Huh?
Well, it seems that wrong answers won't have any catastrophic consequences. Looks like we'll have to sit on these chairs and fulfill the... Everyone, I would like to suggest that we try some risky answers on our first attempt. Let's reserve our most confident answers for the second round.
That sounds kind of smart. But why?
I get what he means. If we do as he says, then we may be able to figure out how the puzzle works.
I see. That makes a lot of sense.
Mona, is there something wrong? You're not looking too good.
Oh, are you hungry? I brought some snacks.
Thank
being
you
prepared.
for offering, Klee, but that's not quite it. While Albedo was checking just now, I gave my scryglass a spin, hoping to find some information. But there's a strange aura to this place. It's almost as if someone has been staring at me as soon as we stepped foot in here. But if nothing here has actually been physically tampered with, then... No. Could that person be...
What do you mean, Mona?
Never mind. It's not like I've got any proof.
Don't leave us on the edge like this, Mona.
I'll just do what Albedo said.
Yes, let's test...
Come on, join us, Mona.
Oh, all right.
Okay, then I'll answer the first question. If someone were to ask me to find a flower that is not of this world,
You can do it, Sucrose.
Do I have to solve this? Please,
then I would
please,
fetch a
not me.
tetragenic sweet flower.
All right, I'm up next. My part of the prophecy is to find a guide who will never get lost.
Paimon.
Kale, I hope you found your answer.
My answer is that I will be that guide. For a long time, I have been guided by others. It's taken me a while, but I finally made it to where I am today. Although I still haven't made a name for myself, and I'm still quite immature, I would still like to put my name forward. Because I would like to become a guide that can help others. I want to help others the same way Amber, Master Tainari, Sino, and everyone else helped me. Now it's my turn to pass on the gift that I've been given.
She's come a long way.
All right, it's up to me to answer the third part. I'll submit myself as one who would never lie. Although I've never really had any other virtues or talents, I'm confident that I'd like to thank everyone, too, for giving me this opportunity to validate myself.
And last but not least, I will answer the final part of the prophecy. There's no tale more befitting the title of a legend that never ends than our fates as human beings.
Wait, the lantern just lit up! Whoa, all four sides of the lantern are glowing!
Huh? But
Kale, could I ask you to stand up for a second?
oh, all right.
It's the seat.
Huh? Why is it lighting up regardless of who's...
It's pretty clear now, isn't it? We've just proven that there is no right answer for this prophecy.
No right answer? But how could that be?
Although the instructions had come from an old and enigmatic prophecy, It is in fact nothing like the ancient mechanism that we had all imagined it to be. I believe the lantern only serves as a simple signal.
And to think, I never expected you to actually find this place.
What? There's someone else here?
We meet again, Traveler.
Hey, you're that Outlander we met the other day at Good Hunter.
It's all thanks to you that I was able to find this place. Good thing that you were too preoccupied with the prophecy to notice someone tailing you from the shadow.
Oh, is that so? Then, why do I spy yet another person following in your shadow?
Wait, really?
There's no need for pleasantries. You should know I'm here for you.
Is it just because I'm a visitor?
I was there when you snuck your way into Marjorie's place.
So you had your eyes on me even then, huh? That was 2 whole weeks ago, you know.
It's hard not to notice you when I'm on duty every day.
All right. In that case, I'll admit it. I was the person who slipped this prophecy into the storybook.
Huh? But why?
Don't worry. Even though you probably have plenty of reservations about me, you can be sure that the prophecy is genuine. In fact, many of you here today may have heard the code name of the one who left the prophecy to me. She hailed from an ancient assembly of powerful women, each of whom used a single letter to signify themselves.
Who would have guessed? It seems that power was indeed left behind by the old hag after all.
So you're B's student. It's an honor to meet you. I am Scarlet, the successor of Jay.
Well, what are you talking?
It's a long story, but I'm not quite sure that I'm the best person to tell it. Since you've all spent so much time and energy trying to decipher this the lantern has already been lit. Now then, please allow me to disturb your happy peace.
Huh. Why did this little thing just light up? How strange.
Hello? On the other side of the lantern. Can you hear me over there?
Mom? Oh, I hear many youthful voices.
Madam, I am Scarlet, the successor of Jay.
Oh, since we've last gathered, Jay's successor has already become so reckless and bold. Unbelievable.
Wait. Why are you talking just like the old hag?
Old hag? Who would dare say that? Is that Mona?
Who are you? Who dares imitate my master?
And what of imitation and mimicry? It has always been a fool's errand to mimic and learn from humanity.
Oh, it's Alice. I'm here too.
Mom, why are you trying to talk like other people?
So I see everyone's here. Well then, my warmest greetings, everyone.
Miss Alice, why would you...
Well, it's been many years since this lantern last lit up. You can't blame me for thinking that one of the old friends from my youth may have decided to catch up again.
Why she sounds so coy all of a sudden?
And if I recall correctly, we left this lantern in the care of the Animo Archon Barbados. You must be commended for uncovering an artifact entrusted to the god of wind himself. Tell me, are you sitting around my beloved tea party table?
It's a really long table.
Oh, so you are. I suppose this means even the Animo Archon has granted you entry to this place. Was all of this Scarlet's doing?
Wait. Paimon's completely lost now. So what was this assembly you were talking about earlier?
Oh, Miss Alice, would it be all right to leave the explanation of that to you?
Well, you should be rewarded for making it all the way up here and activating the lantern. Now then, let me tell you a long and ancient story. Ever heard of the Hexenzirkel? As the spooky name suggests, it's a secret society. Once upon a time, it even challenged the Animo Archon himself. But he replied, "Let us make music, not war, and resolve our conflicts through song." From then on, the mages would only ever convene in the woods, in the skies, or on the edges of cliffs. At these tea parties, they discussed their stories and secrets and resolved their differences, as the tea and cakes bore witness to their pledge never to fight amongst themselves.
Yesterday I snuffed out the life of my beloved.
He had grown old and was extremely sick. He loved me dearly, so I took his fate in my hands and ended his pain. I'm raising a son. Of all the children I had, he's the only one left. But I suppose that still makes me a mother.
My lifespan is nothing compared to yours, so I wish to leave you with my storybook. Actually, maybe you can pass it on to your children one day.
Oh, this looks interesting. Let me scry.
My dear sisters, we mustn't let prophecies threaten our bonds of friendship. Even the most frightening witch was once a little girl, and growing up can be so tough. Sometimes we all need to vent our troubles to the wind. Even if the nations go to war, or the sky falls down, the mages' tea parties shall forever be held around this table.
So this is where the legendary mages held their meetings.
That's right. We often met here to chat and have tea.
Then, what about the part saying that if we light the lantern of utmost joy, we'd receive a supreme blessing?
About that. I never expected anyone other than Jay to actually read the full contents of that prophecy. It's a little embarrassing. The truth is, that prophecy was actually just a letter that we sent to Jay as a group the day before her wedding.
So it was indeed written by all of you.
I must thank you for resisting the urge to immediately reveal the truth to everybody, Albedo. Knowing you, you probably figured out everything the moment you laid eyes on the message.
No, it took me a little longer than that.
A flower that is not of this world, a guide who will never get lost, one who would never lie, and a legend that never ends. These 4 descriptions signify 4 individual mages. When a member of the organization had to leave the group to spend the rest of her days with her beloved, the other mages would write down this prophecy and send it to her to invite her for a final get-together. A flower that is not of this world signifies, of course, flowers that do not naturally exist in this world. This is the signature of our full name, Rhindaughter, also known as Gold. If there's anyone in this world who could create a flower species that does not yet exist, it would be her. The guide who will never get lost is N, otherwise known as Nicole. You may not have encountered her yet, but she is a truly extraordinary woman who has made this world's direction and order her subject of study. Some of you may be fortunate enough to have already heard her voice. Like a prophetess, she will only speak to guide people toward the truth when a change has occurred in the world. She has a tendency to suddenly speak in someone's mind without any warning. If one day you would be unfortunate enough to run into a truly dangerous situation, she may use her voice to guide the way forward for you.
Who would have guessed that there are so many mysterious women in this world, and that they would all know each other?
The one who would never lie is me. I hope no one would take offense. It's just that I, Alice, or A for short, have always had a soft spot for those with sincerity and candor. As for a legend that never ends, you may not know M in person, but you've likely encountered one of her works. Have any of you ever read The Boar Princess?
Huh? I'm pretty sure every child in Mondstadt has read that book.
It's also one of my favorite stories. M was an exceptional human writer who used her prose to teach me the meaning of grief. Don't you think such a person would deserve a seat at the mage's table?
Paimon's getting more and more lost.
It may sound hard to believe, but I can attest to everything that Alice has said. Jay was also a mortal who aged and passed on, leaving her title to her students and followers. Alice, you've never acknowledged any of Jay's successors. It's now been centuries since the first of us took on her mantle. I've always wanted to meet you.
Do you also want to become a mage?
Title aside, I'm more interested in the meaning and purpose of the Hexen Circle. I used to think that the Hexen Circle was a group of women who could control the very fate of this world. But now, I've seen for myself that besides Jay, many other ordinary people were also among you.
Do you think less of us now?
No, not at all. My interest has been piqued, and I'm now even more drawn towards the idea of becoming a mage.
You're right. I've never acknowledged any of Jay's successors. But you are different. You are much more fascinating than any of your predecessors.
Oh, has someone finally piqued Aunt Alice's interest?
Now is not a good time, Scarlet, but as soon as I am able, I will seek you out for a meeting. I want you to tell me all about Jay's married life back in her hometown.
So the mage who received the prophecy letter from all of you was Jay? She left the Hexen Circle after getting married?
Precisely. There was only one way the letter could have been interpreted. She would have known what we meant as soon as she saw the message. We were just asking one thing of her. Please come to see us again. Before you go and settle forever with your happiness, please come share some of it with your best friends and sisters.
So, the Supreme Blessing actually meant...
All journeys are fleeting and will eventually come to an end. What will give us the most fulfillment and happiness in the end are those who will greet us at our journey's destination. Dear child, I believe you can also understand what I am talking about. We women will always have many troubles and encounter pains and frustrations that will keep us up at night. But no matter how hard things may become, we will cross mountains and oceans to see our best friends again, regardless of how many years have passed or how far the distance may be. As long as we can be with our beloved friends, our hearts will be filled with joy. To us mages, that's what being supremely blessed is all about.
Oh.
I still don't get it, but I do know that all the mages are Mom's best friends.
If you ask how I see it, the Hexen Circle is just a group of ladies that I spent my youth with. Anyway, I'll introduce some of the other members to you all later. I still have a few things to attend to, so this will have to do for today.
Bye, Mom. Todoko says bye, too.
Goodbye, darling, and farewell to all of our other friends as well. I'm sure we'll see each other again. Oh, now that I think of it, isn't it getting close to that time of year?
Yes, it's Windblume again, Alice.
It's also a special anniversary date. I'm sure you still remember.
Yes, I do remember now. It was on this day many, many years ago that Jay tied the knot. Ah, just in time for the Festival of Love and Freedom. Everyone, please enjoy this year's Windblume Festival to the fullest.
Could we have the decor in our Serenity pot? Wait, I have to... No wonder I turned this up.
Albedo! Why didn't you tell me we'd have to glide all the way back down?
No wonder I turned to monster just yet. Trying to see if I can light the candles just by sitting like it, but nope. Huh. I honestly don't know what to think about that.
Let's move out.
It is getting about time they introduce new characters still to Genshin. Need to keep people on the hook, like they did for Baizu when he first came out.
Oh.
Are you okay, Timaeus? Maybe you'd feel better if you just, you know, let it out.
I'm fine, I'm fine. I'm just, a little glider sick, that's all.
You may want to look into getting your own gliding license when you have the time. It might prove helpful to you.
Okay. Sure thing.
It sounds like you've still got something on your mind. Why don't you tell us? We're all happy to listen.
It's nothing, really.
Put off Yinger
It's
for
just,
nothing.
well, Alice's story was really interesting and romantic. I won't argue about that. But still, the whole thing wasn't quite what I was hoping for. Of course, I didn't actually expect the supreme blessing to be real, but...
Don't say that. None of this was your fault, Timaeus. Honestly, it's more on me for having agreed to be the Windblume Festival Special Ambassador. Had I not asked for everyone's help...
If anything, it should be my fault for finding that prophecy.
Oh, no. I didn't mean to blame the two of you either. I just feel like this whole adventure didn't really end on a high note, and we also didn't really get anything out of it.
But I'd say we still...
Well, that aside, Timaeus, you still need to go...
Oh, Miss Ying-ar. Well, I mean... I just really don't want her to get mad at me. Now that I've come back to my senses...
Hey, you three? You may want to look over there.
Huh? Miss Ying-ar?
Oh, so that's
Yep, that's her. And she actually came all the way to Mondstadt.
I am so...
Are you so happy just to see me?
Well, of course I am. I'm so happy that, I don't,
I was ready to give you a harsh scolding. But now that I've seen you like this, I suppose I could let you off the hook this time. You said you couldn't come to pick me up because of a very important matter, right? Well then, of course I had to come and find you instead.
Should we go see how they're doing?
Well, I wouldn't. You'll get hit by a forest boar if you interrupt a couple's romantic conversation.
Oh, really? We'll just leave them alone then.
I am so glad to see Timaeus find his happiness.
I have to say, I'm even more envious of you, Sucrose. You can be happy just to see others happy. And you gave me so much help without any expectations in return. Even though you said that we're very much alike, I still feel like you have a much bigger heart than I do.
But if you say that, then I'd say I'm also nowhere near as brave or tenacious as you. I guess we have the same amount of positive qualities. They're just spread over different parts of our personalities. I've never visited Sumeru, or made many friends from outside of Mondstadt. I'm happy just to have met and become your friend. Maybe I'll get shy and flustered when I meet other people I don't know in the future. But that's okay too. Since we are so alike, you probably get what I'm trying to say. You just need to believe that all of your issues aren't really issues at all.
But isn't it...
well... That's a topic that my parents used to talk about back when they were still dating. My mom brought it up at dinner one time last month. But she also said that learning is just another part of life. It's never too late to start something, as long as you recognize that it's something good for you to do. Why don't you give it a try?
Okay, I'll try.
They're really having a great conversation. But
I nearly...
This texture. Are these seeds?
Yep. I believe I mentioned my sweet flower research to you before. These are the seeds of the sweet flower cultivars that I've worked on. It's nothing too special, but they're the best cultivars that I've made. So, I really hope that you'll like them. They're super sweet and easy to grow and keep. I'm also submitting them as my Windblooms for this year. I wish that the Animal Archon could also see how lovely they are.
Thank you. I'll plant them in the Avidia forest and take good care of them.
Not a good
Colin,
idea.
please take these notes with you. I've heard that you've been working hard on your studies, so I've prepared some study materials for you at Sucrose's request. Feel free to look through them whenever you can find the time. Mondstadt's doors will always remain open to you.
Thank you so much. Really, I don't know what to say.
Ah! Sucrose! Now's your chance! Didn't you want to collect...
You're right. I almost forgot.
Oh, really?
Of course.
Huh?
Huh? It was like a little cloud of happiness.
Well, luckily, there's still some breath left in the test tube. I'll seal it up for now. I'll keep working on it and let you know as soon as I have any breakthroughs in my research.
Yeah, you can write to me. I'll be sure to respond as soon as I receive your letter.
Oh, it looks like you found a new pen pal.
Master Tainari! Sino!
If your friendship was forged in a test tube, does that make you test friends forever?
That's it. Think you've ruined Sumeru's reputation in Mondstadt beyond all hope of repair.
All that matters is that I've enjoyed Mondstadt immensely. The dragon here possesses a majestic form.
Oh, that reminds me. Traveler, this card back is for you. Sino wanted you to have one for yourself. If I had to guess, I'd say he probably wants you to use it if you challenge him to a duel.
I'm a master of the game. Do you dare challenge me?
Can you believe this guy? Huh. Let's knock him off his high horse.
Wait! I've got something to give you, too.
Huh? Kali has a gift for us?
Yeah! I figured I should follow local Mondstadt customs and prepared a few small things themed after the Windblume festival.
Ooh, a bookmark.
I made these bookmarks from Sumeru roses at the hotel. I want to give them to Amber, Master Tainari, and Sino. During Windblume, Mondstadters offer flowers to the people most important to them. You three are family to me.
But Tainari said that we're not anything like an academic family. He wouldn't write joint papers with us.
Well, in this case, we can consider ourselves as regular siblings. And that should be just fine.
I agree. Oh, and here are some Padisara seeds as well. These are for the Traveler, Paimon, and everyone else from Mondstadt.
Whoa, are these really for us?
Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Are these your chosen
I
Windblooms?
can't grow them.
One of them. Both Padisauras and Sumeru roses are my Windblooms. Although they're not native to Mondstadt, they are the flowers that can best express my feelings. I want to give them to the people I feel thankful for. To those who I wish to accompany as we greet more seasons and future Windblooms together. The real blessing in life is when you are surrounded by people who you'd miss day and night, and who you'd want to see even if that meant crossing mountains and oceans to do so. Sucrose, do you see that?
Huh?
Doesn't it look...
Huh?
The academia.
Did you hear what happened? It's the academia.
Ooh. Got so many rewards. I'm still missing so much context, it's unbelievable. So I can actually plant this, or... Wait, what did we just get? Hang on. So we did get... Okay. Just trying to work this out. Anyway. I think I like that event. Or am I going all the way over here? I'm going to change it. I don't even know what deck I'm using at the moment currently. Probably this one. Ah. Hang on. Ah, here we go. Deck design settings. I do actually like that one. Yeah, I'll go with that one. Card box design only takes effect for certain matches. Anyway, we still have events to do. So let's go take some photos and then we'll do the running one. I kinda like that event. Could have been longer. Less speech, more context, and the character trials were awful. Like, really, wow. Oh, cat, dagger feet. There are dagger feet. Don't click that. I could technically leave this all for tomorrow. This would be a great time to have Dia. Okay, well, let me get to lookout. Come on, it's teleported, come on. There we go. Ooh! That reminds me... That does remind me.
No.
Is the soundtrack off? Hang on. No, it isn't.
Have you ever seen...
No, I'm not thinking of that one. My mind's just blanking on me. I did grab the last one of these. Unfortunately, I don't have any. That would be actually the best time to upgrade it. I forgot they had the bonus. I'm stupid. I've been hyper-focused on the Aquila Pavonia. Right, what do I need for this? Oh, there's a little fire here. How convenient. Oh, 8. I can probably run this. Cat, hello. You back again? I see you. Dragon's Spine's the perfect place for Dia. Because it can't kill her. Her passive just regenerates. And I've tested this. Oh, cat. Hang on. There you go. Does that feel better, cat? Yay, nay, come on. Uh-oh. Don't tell me it's up there. It's up there. I'm not climbing that. Oh. Might have to climb it.
Fireworks are for now, but friends are forever.
This is just really awkward. Right, you know what? Nah. Go to the camp down this way. Goodbye, I'm just passing by. We're going that way, shouldn't I? Oh dear. Ah! Ignore me. Why are there so much enemies around here? You saw nothing. Huh? Oh. Why are you here? It's cold in this area. I think dendro flowers be as far away from Dragon's Spine as they possibly could be. Oh, it's cold up here. Idle. Idle with the birdie. Oh, I just kind of disturbed it. Right, I'm not touching the thing. No movement, no aiming, nah. Idle! Please? Yeah, just setting stuff on fire. Okay. Free in the jams. When you say wheel, do you mean use the power pyro?
Watch me make a snowball! Pew!
Uh-oh. Gesundheit. It's alright. Thank you. That's what happens when a cat sits right next to it. I'm fine, just sneezing. Yoink. Oh, and how are you? How have you been through the Windblume events? I have unashamedly been doing the Ballads of Breeze offline. We have one left to go. Cat is sleeping right next to me. He's just... Actually, I think he's asleep. He's usually just staring at me. Or contemplating the keyboard.
This is great. I feel so relaxed all over. I could almost float away.
Well, I'll be doing this tomorrow. So there's that. It's not the best event, but it is a bit stale. Right, before I do this, hang on, I need to have it off. Okay.
Have you ever kept goldfish as pets? They're
It's
very
not bad,
cute.
it's a bit stale. I think the very first Lantern Knight is a bit hard to follow. Ooh, it's a dark place. The library's all dark. They don't offer high replayability these though. You do it once and you think, well, no point coming back. If you put monsters in this, right, and have drops, so it just, you continue going back for them instead of going outside. Let's go. Relatively sure there's meant to be a guy here. Oh. What? What?
I see everything.
Yep. Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go quick before the slimes get us. Didn't realize you got that quest there. Okay, we got it. Uh-oh. Oh. I see. I remember how to do this. Vaguely. I got lost last time. Ooh, spooky. Ah! Uh-oh. Whew. Ah! I feel like I'm soloing this. Not yet. Ah, I want to kill one last one. There needs to be drops for that, like, I don't know, maybe 1,000 more up per, oh! Friendship points. Everyone wants those. Friendship EXP would be great. If you could just get more each and every time you did that. But just not a lot, like, maybe 5. Thank you. I will leave. Because there's nothing else for me this world. There we go. They could do the other, they could do it in the overworld and have like 4 players. But give it a map the size of the wind trace. That would be fun. Was it the tenacity of the Millilef? At least she's good for Dragonspine. I understand why they put her in the standard banner, so new players can just walk through Dragonspine without dying. That's literally the only reason I can see for her to exist. Come on. Why is the screen so slow? You figured this would all just be unlocked in the first day? No. Well, not the first day, but... Can't she? In Dragonspine, I mean. When she's not off field. Oh yeah, she can die off field when she's got the little circle down and everyone's just tanking attacks. But did you maybe think that maybe the other players should be a bit more considerate? Oh, I know, I saw that. I won't be too sad if I lose to her for 50-50, but I would rather lose to Kiki, to be honest. Okay. Yeah, I know she's just awful in general. And she gets stopped on crates, I know. I'm finding a lot of amusement in this because I'm not wishing for her. Let me think. Right, I think I'm just gonna go into... Oh, I do have stuff to do. Aside from cream jams. I don't need to check Discord. I've seen her like dying in literally every video on YouTube. Okay. Let me just grab one of these. Now I don't remember. I don't remember if it's leaked or not, but I am theorizing that Cave is acquiring this essential material. And I'm hedging my bets for Wanderer and hoping not to get Baizu. Either Wanderer or Eula. Unfortunately, Eula might not be coming. You know, I said I'd be grinding for all my characters to get them from 80 up to 90. I've solidly broken that promise. Come on.
Emerge. Right now. Trust and breathe in. Time for a light show. That didn't count. Right here. Emerge. Hold the line. Right here. Grow, grow, grow. Feel the split.
Yeah. I'm so glad I always get free on this. Almost there. And let's give the other one to this. I'm splitting my grinding time. It buys. I've just lost a lot of enthusiasm for him. I didn't really like. I mean, theoretically, I wouldn't really like his way he moves. I'm going to stop talking now. I remembered back to the times he's been shown in the way he walks. It's a bit meh. Cap, on the other hand, I would get solely because he looks like Howl. Also, that's kind of what I'm saving the Alhaitham quest for. I want to have Kave walking through it. Yoop.
Right now. Emerge. Right. Right here, right now. Emerge.
Committed to memory. Sharing my knowledge.
Right now, right here. Goldfish up down!
Covenants of the deep. Rest and rebuild.
There we go. Yeah, but I don't think Eela's coming. I'm fine. My Eula is set. She's done. Not Eula. My Nahida. I do not want anything else. Nah, nah, nah. She's done. She's on Kidori. She's absolutely fine. Let's ignore the weapon. Chunky thighs? I don't know. We were waiting for this so they could design a new skin for her. Not sure if you saw this, but I got this a few days ago. Anyway, do I have anything for this mailed flower? Where is it? Yep. God, by pure luck. I was expecting a purple. For my quaint fate. Of a standard. Right, how many days of Windblume left? Hang on. 12 days, that's enough. Let me think. I think I might have already gone here. Yeah, it'll be great for Bennett. To be fair, I was hoping for a wolf gravestone or Kiki. I get a lot of swords on the banner.
This realm is
This wish was for a character that I use a bit more often.
If you ever had...
Never mind, I forgot I went to there before. Oh, wait. So would I. Unfortunately, it's not possible. I'll have to level it some more time. Completely forgot that there was a boost on for the mailed flower. Haven't actually put it on to look yet. I won't be doing it for a while because all the future characters I want, they require fungi bits. Well, you could be that meme Kiki in co-op, just carrying everyone. Hello. Here we are. Stuff. Yeah, I need to get more. Where's my other team?
What shall we do?
Yeah. Yeah, he's only here because I need the ore. Wait. Oh, it might not be bad. Wait. No, it's a fine idea. Fine. Ah! It's not a good team for resource gathering. Oh, not that one.
Something's come up?
No, it has not. Go away. Yep. Completely out.
Let's go gather some samples.
I don't want to buy any more for the store. There we go. Let me think. Oh. You know what? Probably best if I don't actually forget there's a guide here. I think it guides me straight to the enemies.
Something on your mind again? Let's work through it together.
Yes, but it's boosted in right now. I think I have the materials to ascend it at least. All I need is to get it as far as possible. Hello.
Stabilize.
Everyone hold hands.
Everyone tank the damage time.
Be still.
Isn't range flasher better for the look? No. Have you seen fully flying where's my Diluc? Well, technically Serpent Spine would be better, but I can shove on a crit thing. Hang on. Look at that. 8 seconds after the character's elemental skill hits an opponent, or a character triggers an elemental reaction, their attack and elemental mastery will be increased by 24% and 96% respectively. That's like definitely Diluc's sword there, apart from the crit thing. Granted, I have to move around a few things, but oh, that's awful. Not too bad. I'd be using him right now if I wasn't going after fungi.
I see
I
everything.
actually need this, but yoink. Oh, that reminds me. If you need anything, come to my world and feel free to take it.
Hey,
Solidify.
Enshroud.
Oh, quite easy.
I see everything.
Hello. I hate the fact that I'm grinding for 2 characters at once. Uh-oh. Too sharp.
Gather.
Yeah, but it also boosts attack, and your Diluc has only got 3 fire attacks at most in a short order. You're going to be swapping out very fast or something else.
Solidify!
Can't see.
Yep. It also boosts his attack. If you want to just go to normals.
Keep up.
Alright, it's got nothing down here. There we go. One day I'll have C6. I'll just be zooming. Yeah, but that's my Ito owns that, so tough luck. There we go. I know, but aesthetically I want the other one.
Cascade!
Oh. I will find some mushrooms. Ah. There we go. I just really like Will's Grayson for some reason. There we go. Hello. I wish we could land on top of those flowers.
I see everything.
Stabilize!
Enshroud!
Oh. Get down here.
I hear everything!
There we go. Probably that way. Yoink. Yep. I don't know, which one do you think is most annoying? These or specters? Before they were nerfed. Oh, hello.
Everyone hold his.
Oh, too low. Oh, dang it. Yeah, I should have picked that first. Come on.
Hey!
still.
Do I have a Hydro Archer that's not a child, obviously, but I don't think I do. No, I don't. Okay. What we need is a Hydro Bow 4-star. I'm trying to think of what characters I didn't have to make it hang on, to make it difficult. There we are. No, I think I just hated them. Oh, it's because we were always going over water and I had to dive in to get stuff.
Solidify!
Can't see? Let's nip that in the butt.
I like using Venti on him now that you can finally suck him up. I'm just weird like that. Yeah, it's a bit ridiculous. I wish you could pick up drops though. I suppose that's a bit too overpowered. There we are. Oh, you can knock them over. I didn't think you could knock over ducks. Yes! Is this new edition? Because I couldn't do it before. Oh, come on. No, get back here. I'm squashing you by a boat. Ah! I want to knock over the duck. Where is he? Ah! Dang it, I can't get him. Okay. You leave the duck behind. This is why I never get anything done. Yeah, and retreating very... Ah, missed that one too. Nah. Oh, does actual damage now. Question is, can I get the meat? Yes. Haha! Doesn't even matter, I've got like thousands of this. No mushrooms? Odd.
One with the forest.
I don't want to hit you, I want to hit the flower. Ah, whatever. Right, focus. some days you just want to do some of that. Here we go. Uh-oh.
I see everything.
Stabilize. Be still.
Everyone hold hands.
So yeah, if you want any of those lotuses, you best come quick. I'm just going after them all.
Enshroud!
Yeah, I've probably got a lot as well. I see them and I just pick them up. I'm going that way. There we are. Yeah, I've got a lot. I keep thinking I'm going for these, but I'm actually just picking up these. Also, I need to get more of these. Well, I'm sure we'll get 3 or more new characters for Sumeru eventually.
I see everything.
Can I reach me from this
Everyone
angle?
hold hands.
Okay, there we are. Wait, wasn't there usually some up that way? Aha!
Hey!
Solidify!
I see everything.
Where? Seriously? Yep. Me too. Right, where's the... Wait, no, I can't find crocodiles. I do not care. See mushrooms? I'm going for mushrooms. Come on over this way.
Hey!
Sorry, tiger. Oh, I've still got to do... I think I haven't done...
I see everything.
I haven't done any of the old actually. Some part of me that says, I could stream that! And then the other part of me, my soul is just going, please don't. I mean, would you be interested in me streaming these ones? Ugh. I was very desperate for Primo Gems before, so... Eh. Game's real, I suppose. Let's go that way. It's always ermites. I don't care about. Yeah, it does sound a bit more bearable. Well, you can't really spam clip for multiple endings. Wish we didn't have to do it multiple times.
Gather!
Can't see? I hear everything! Keep up!
Cascade!
One day, Kavi, you will be on this team. Yeah. Must be exhausting though. Just grinding for achievements rather than just wandering around. Ah, I'm too short. Huh? Oh. Hello, dinner. Or lunch. I have been considering going through my achievements and writing them down into some sort of database or whatever. I've been thinking about it. Yeah, thinking and not really doing. Yeah, I know that site.
I see everything.
Enshroud!
Be still.
Get down here.
Let's nip that in the bud.
Bad mushroom. Crocodiles. Okay, this way. Well done. I'm probably missing like way too many. You saw nothing. Go away, there's no mushrooms here. I don't care about you. Oh yeah. I don't want to think of how long it took me to get that signature one. Oh, hello. Where'd you pop up from?
One with the bar. Can't see?
a second.
Enshroud!
Can I reach it from here? That's the question. Nope. Wait a second. Nope. Oh well. Unfortunate. You? Really? Oh, there we are.
This way, Turtle. Roll!
Oh, there you are.
I see everything.
Stabilize.
There you go. Glad the explosions don't destroy the drops. Oh.
Keep up.
Okay. Hi.
Huh? Huh?
This is the first. All waypoints are.
The value of knowledge cannot simply be quantified in monetary terms.
This is the first Sino wannabe who's popped up so far, asking for scarabs. Oh, I best swap team. Hang on. I'll take you. Yeah, I'm so done with that. The gang you actually built. Yeah, good enough. Ah. Oh, hello. As long as we're not going after these. I'm gonna teleport to the next one. Imagine if this worked for healing the whole team. Okay. Sumeru is absolutely irritating. When you don't have... What? How did I miss you? Hello? Okay, let's do this. Oh. Okay, so not the pyro. Oh, it was a count. I didn't count. Hang on, I'm gonna wait for it to display. Oh, I can't, it's because it's way. Free, thank you. I thought it was when you run into the thing. But I can't move. I'm stuck. When you run into the ones that aren't. Oh, they're gone.
Unsolicited, and all the more valuable for it.
My memory is awful. We're doing another one. So you're not going to go back to the place and do chests, okay? Yeah, I'm just going to put that there. No label, just... Oh, wait, I can't find team back. Oh, I'm still in co-op. Here we are. Okay. Oh, hello. So many of them.
Can't see. I hear everything.
Get down here.
Commit it to memory.
If only.
Hold hands.
One day we're gonna get character and that's gonna be passive.
I see everything.
Gather!
One with the forest.
I remember before Sumeru leash, just Just going to that one place, the chasm that spawned these things. Just going nuts.
Everyone hold hands.
Can't see? Let's nip that in the bud.
Grinding for 2 characters who use fungi materials for both their talents and their ascension, and 2 at the same time who both use it for both of them. Ugh. I don't want Baizo in particular, but if I get him, I'm going to have to 90 him. Ugh.
One with the forest. Keep up. Keep up.
Okay, come on. Where are you? Huh. Okay, didn't realize that you were there.
I see everything.
Enshroud!
Cascade! I will have order. Stabilize.
You know what I want? What I really, really want. I want the ability to pick up these, awaken the whopper flower beneath, walk over to the eremites, and set them fighting each other. A little tactical planning never really goes amiss. And it could be funny.
This way hurt a little.
Cascade.
Get up.
Everyone hold hands.
Where are you? What?
Ouchie.
Wait, I don't care. You know what, just whatever. No, nothing there. There we go. Oh, hello. forward to the day I can get Zhongli a proper little skin. I know there's a little story bit about why he doesn't, and why he's got this specific jacket in particular, but I still want him a new skin. You can't just release 5 stars, everyone's going gaga over. Not release their merch. Slimes, who cares about slimes? Oh, look, that's still there. I see you over there. No, it's a slime. It's not fungi. No, you saw nothing.
I see everything.
Solidify!
One with the forest! I'll uproot you!
Commit it to memory.
Stabilize!
Okay. So much rubble around here.
Solidify! Gather!
Enshroud!
Hello? I'm glad we can't talk to each and every one of these individually. Very glad. Wonder if we got them all though. One day we'll have a character that levels on these. Maybe we already do and I just haven't really paid any attention whatsoever. Sorry. I'm not Arnara. I'm not pronouncing your name. I refuse. That way. I wonder how the researchers justified this little place since when they said Arnara aren't real. They just say it's a historical site where everyone's just... I don't even know what we'd say for this. Hello? Glowy? Glowy? Context? Right. Did the book update? Did it update the book? Oh, it updated. Huh. We've got a new place to go to. Trying to think where that would be. We'll come back to that later. Bet it's this. Bet it's here. Don't know where the R&R we go there though. Not the right angle. It's way over there probably.
Be still.
Okay, look, I don't care. Go away.
I see everything.
Can't see. Solidify. Cascade. This is order.
Enshroud! I hear everything!
This may hurt a little.
Be still.
Am I gonna have to dig up this as well? Could be. Let's just grab Jean for a team. Jean. Oh, there she is.
We may leave at any time.
Oh. Welcome to our world.
I do hope the Knights of Favonius are all working hard.
Gather!
No touching!
The hunter becomes the hunted.
I wonder if you're leveling the catch. Probably.
We're way behind schedule. Huh?
Oh, I'm blind. Ah! I just want to find the place. Well, there's a tree right next to it, so it must be closer. A yellow tree. If there's one thing that R&R can depict absolutely perfectly, it's trees. Supposedly. Chest. Oh, did they just leave? No, they're still there. That's why it's paused. Where's my gene?
pleasant surprise.
Yep, I didn't think I had any clothes left. Oh. Yeet! No.
Access denied.
Eh. What is that? Oh. Okay. Nothing I'm interested in. Cat, what are you on about? Uh-oh.
Born of ice and frost. Ugh. For Rex Lapis.
Wind, hear me.
Maybe I'll just do this to make it more difficult or more entertaining. I'll just limit myself to two-player teams. Could be that one.
We're way behind schedule.
Huh. Oh, yes.
Access denied. Born of ice and frost.
I know it's humans, you're not going to be fooled. Right.
How regretful.
Could be that tree. Maybe. Well, I think this may be a guide thing. Yeah. Well, anyway, I'll be streaming the quest tomorrow. Carnibert. I'll be streaming that tomorrow, but in the meantime, shall I send you off to someone else? I shall. Who shall I send you off to? If you like the stream, feel free to follow me. I'm here like all week apart from Friday and Saturday. Who should I send you off to? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. There we are. Send you off to Kmenos. Go say hi. I'll leave co-op open a little bit longer, so if you want to grab stuff, feel free. I'll just be AFK. Bye.